YouTube, what's good with y'all, man? Gniady back here with another video, and today I'm gonna be rebuilding the best team in the NFL, the Chicago Bears.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You liar! No, but on a serious note, today we'll be trying to rebuild the 2022-2023 Chicago Bears. It's 2023 now, so I am currently in the off season of this current season that just passed. We have the #1 pick, and we're gonna be trying to rebuild them. So basically, we gotta re-sign some players, right? Stuff like that. So we're gonna go ahead and make what I think is realistic that the Bears should be doing, and try to rebuild them. And then we'll probably sim through half the season or more in this video, and then we can continue on in the next video. But yeah, so starting off here, I think it's most likely that we'll re-sign David Montgomery. I don't see why the Bears wouldn't. We have like $120 million in cap space. So yeah, we have $159, but so I think we go player friendly. Something like this makes sense. I feel like I'm excited. All right, so we got David Montgomery back. Good start. Byron Pringle, probably won't re-sign him. Dante Pettis probably won't re-sign him. Probably won't re-sign DeAndre. N'Keal Harry, I don't see us really re-signing him either. Nicholas Morrow, I could actually see us re-signing Nicholas Morrow, to be honest. So we'll make him a player-friendly offer. Start like that. Still got tons and tons of cap room. As far as the rest of these players go, I don't see us. Angelo Blackson, realistically, we will be re-signing him, so we'll go ahead and offer him. All right, so that does look like all the people that are most realistically going to be re-signed by us. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and sim to the free agency. Go ahead and see what we got popping off in the free agency, who realistically we might sign, and go from there, yeah. So right now, we're going to go ahead and look at the top wide receivers and look at some free agents who potentially the Bears could be signing. Odell, I don't see that happening. Juju, I don't see that happening either. Sterling Shepard, Jacoby Myers, McCole Hardman. So all these players are okay, but like in reality, I don't know if we would ever sign any of these people, right? Honestly, we did get Chase Claypool, so Juju Smith-Schuster is a possibility, but I feel like in reality, we'll be trading for someone. So I think we could start off by offering Allen Lazard. That's one that I thought is a potential to happen from us. But we basically need a lot of defense. So let's go ahead and look at left ends and stuff like that. Brandon Graham, Bryce Huff, stuff like this. Left end, you know, no one crazy. We could sign Brandon Graham, but he's on the older side. As far as right ends go, we got not really anybody here that looks like good. Akeem Hicks, we already had him on our team before. I doubt they're going to go out and sign him again. We can look at some linebackers. Josh Allen, now that's a guy I could see the Bears potentially wanting, so we're going to offer him, see if that goes through. That's a good start. I feel like we could get Josh Allen on the team. That'd be very, very good. Middle linebacker, we have a pretty decent one, and there's nothing crazy in this draft class right here, in my opinion. So, right outside linebacker, yet again, no one really seems like worth going out and getting. Cornerback room, if we could go get Marcus Peters, I feel like that'd be super good for us, like that, getting another corner like that. So, we'll make an offer to Marcus Peters. Good start right there. So, now I feel like for the rest of this, we kind of want to go ahead and see. Most likely, I think they're going to trade the first overall pick. So I think what we could try to do here is go ahead and look at our draft picks. We have the first round 1 pick 1, and see what some offers that we might be getting offered. And hopefully these are semi-realistic, and then we can go ahead and make trades for these players and go from there. So already I see CeeDee Lamb from the Cowboys. I don't see why realistically they'd be trading up to try to get the #1 pick, in my opinion. The Jets, I could see that one being semi-realistic, but I don't see them trading Garrett Wilson. Jameson Williams from the Lions, that's semi-realistic, I would say. Aaron Jones, Brian Burns from the Panthers. See, that would be really good for us, but I feel like we also would want a wide receiver. Right now, the Panthers one is the one that I see being the most realistic, to be honest. Steelers doesn't seem realistic to me. Keep going, Kevin Byard. That's pretty good. We don't need a safety, though. So, honestly, the Panthers one is the one I see being the most realistic. So, I'm actually going to go ahead and accept that one right now. We're going to go get Brian Burns. They need a quarterback. So, them taking the first pick makes a lot of sense, in my opinion. So, we just made that pick now. Our roster's 51. So, now let's go ahead and sim to the next week. So now we're back looking at free agents this week. I just saw we have Orlando Brown right here. We're in huge need of a offensive line. So we're going to go ahead and send him a player-friendly contract. See if he accepts that. We can actually go back and look through the other guys in here. Nothing crazy. Actually, we probably could send an offer right here. Go ahead and set an offer. Still got plenty of cap space. Right tackle. Another one. We could use another tackle. So let's go ahead and set an offer that way as well. Offensive line is a big need. We still had a lot of cap space and big runs this year and a lot of room to running. I think we're the second most efficient running offense in the NFL, but that's mainly because of Justin Fields' capability, not really because of the offensive line, in my opinion. So that looks like all we're going to be getting out of the free agent class. So let's go ahead and sim until the free agent recap. So looking at it, to recap, we got Marcus Peters, we got a new right tackle, and we got Allen Lazard. So pretty good. Plus we got Brian Burns from that trade. So I'm not that mad. That's not a horrible offseason. It could be worse. That's a pretty good start for our first offseason, I would have to say. And we still have the draft. So let's go ahead and hop in the draft. So our first pick doesn't come until the second round, but we're still in need of wide receiver talent for sure. So it looks like the top player right now is a wide receiver. So we're actually going to go ahead and draft a wide receiver. And then with our next pick, we'll probably go somewhere on the defensive line. So looking for the best defensive lineman available, Jaron Crawford. Sorry. That's who we're going to pick. So now we actually still need another lineman right here. So let's actually go ahead and draft a right tackle right here since we didn't get one in our offseason. And that's actually going to do it for the draft. So now we have everything we need. We have our drafted players. We have our free agent signings plus our trade of the first pick of the draft. So our offseason is complete now, and we are in the preseason currently. We have our preseason games, which I'm going to go ahead and simulate. I'm going to be simulating all these games. The point of this is just to rebuild them and see if we can eventually start making it to the playoffs and even the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. Do the best possible rebuild that would be realistic to real life. So we are now on week 1. We're going to actually go ahead and set a season goal here. I would say we're going to be realistic. Let's start off by 7 wins. All right, let's try to get to 7 wins. That's our goal of the year. We're not going to, the possibilities of making the playoffs are a little bit low unless we have a crazier offseason than what I just did. I honestly, realistically, as a Bears fan, I don't see it being much different than what just happened now. Honestly, for what I just did right there, that might be way better than we even do, because who knows what the Bears front office being very hesitant to spend money at all, even though we have all this open money and extra money to be spending. They don't really go out and get big pickups. Plus the the free agent class wasn't very good for what we wanted to be getting or the holes that we need to fill on our team. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the lineup to start off the year. Of course, at the quarterback position, we have Justin Fields. What does that want me to do? Generate best lineup? Okay, well, that was weird. Anyways, we have Justin Fields at the helm, David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert, both dynamic duo, Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney, Allen Lazard. That's okay. I would like it to be better, for sure, but Darnell Mooney healthy, Lazard healthy, pretty good, honestly. Chase Claypool, somehow we got Laviska Shenault. Hopefully that doesn't happen in real life. At the line position, there's our new right tackle. And besides that, there's nothing really that special. Cole Kmet. So our offense still has some work to do, but it could be worse. Brian Burns, our new pickup right there. Eddie Jackson. and Jaquan Brisker right there. Jalen Johnson, Marcus Peters. So our defense is looking a tad better. Obviously, I'd like to see some better stuff on the defensive line, but we have our rookie right there. Hopefully he starts to get better, get upgraded, etc., stuff like that. So we're actually gonna go ahead and simulate to mid-season and see what happens. So at the midway point in the season, we are currently 3-4. So we're on track to get that 7-win mark. Could be worse, honestly, but we have as many wins as we had last season at this point in the year. The Broncos are 5-2. Not sure how realistic that is. Let's go ahead and see how our players are doing, though. Go ahead and stats and awards. And we're going to go ahead and look at the player stats. So 1,500 passing yards for Justin Fields at this point. Let's go ahead and look at rushing statistics. David Montgomery has 493 yards. Justin Fields 245. That's pretty good, actually. Not too bad. 5 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. Khalil Herbert has a couple in there. 145 yards, 4 touchdowns. Semi-realistic, I would say. Let's go ahead and actually go down to the receiving yards. Right now, Darnell Mooney is our leading receiver, 380 yards. Lazard has 367, so he's spreading the ball around. All 3 of our receivers are pretty close. Cole Kmet has a decent amount of receiving yards in there. Laviska Shenault has 1 reception for 23 yards. That's pretty funny. So not too bad. Let's go ahead and look over our defense right now. Leading our team in tackles is Nicholas Morrow. Not that surprising. And looking at sacks, only 2 sacks from Brian Burns at this point in the year. So we're definitely lacking on getting off the edge, but 3 assists, 23 tackles from Brian Burns, and 2 sacks. Definitely would like to see that being better. 1 pick from each of these guys right here. Marcus Peters, our new pickup, 1 pick. Jalen Johnson, 1 pick. Could be better. Definitely could be better. So I mean, it's not a horrible start. Let's go ahead and actually sim all the way to the playoffs. All right, we are now in the playoffs. Let's go ahead and view the standings. Chiefs are first place, obviously. Come on now. 49ers in first place in the NFC. Makes sense. Then Bengals are 13-4. So very similar to last year. Patriots being good. That's a little surprising. Jaguars being good. That's actually not surprising, especially if I don't think in this they have I don't think they have Calvin Ridley in this, to be honest, but even if they did, that's actually pretty semi-realistic, I would say. Broncos being good, interesting. Commanders, I could see it. Texans being good. Maybe they draft Bryce Young and Bryce Young has a crazy year. That's possible, but I doubt it. Packers in there, makes sense. Steelers, but let's go ahead and actually go to the NFC. Where are the Bears? 7-10. So we actually hit our goal of getting 7 wins. Pretty good start from being a 3-win team, getting 7 wins. Honestly, as a Bears fan, I wouldn't be too upset with that. Just to see an improvement in the team, etc. But obviously, being in the position we're in, I feel like there's going to be higher expectations in real life for us to get more than 7 wins. But let's go ahead and look at what the season stats were for the Bears at this point. So looking at the NFL leaders, Taylor Heineke on the Bucs has a crazy year leading the league in passing yards. We have a draft pick for the Texans. So they went with the quarterback. Very realistic. Let's say that was Bryce Young. Let's say almost a 5,000-yard passing season as a rookie. That's some Justin Herbert stuff right there. Trevor Lawrence has a great year. Josh Allen, of course. I don't see Mahomes on here. There he is. He's down a little bit, but he still had the #1 seed in the NFL. Rushing leaders, Derrick Henry, of course, Nick Chubb, Najee Harris. I can see Najee having a bounce back year, so that makes sense. Receiving, Cooper Kupp has a comeback year. That's good to see. George Pickens goes crazy. Okay. I can partially see that. T. Higgins up there. I don't see that. I see Jamar Chase having a better year, honestly. Stephon Diggs makes sense. Thielen, if Justin Jefferson is gone or something, that makes sense to me, but I don't see Thielen having a better year than Justin Jefferson. Cole Hardman on the Giants. That's interesting. Chris Godwin, Deebo Samuel, Chris Olave, Amon-Ra St. Brown. All that seems very normal there. Let's look at some defensive stats. Who led the league in sacks? Aaron Donald, 23 sacks. Crazy year, crazy player. Myles Garrett, 22 sacks. Nick Bosa, 20 sacks. All pretty realistic. I could see that. Let's go ahead and actually look at interception totals. Darius Slay led the league with 7 picks. Sauce Gardner was 6. I can all see that. Very realistic on the defensive side of things. But now let's go ahead and look at the Bears stats. So Justin Fields finished the year with almost 4,000 passing yards. I'd say if we could get Justin Fields to be around that 4,000 passing yard mark, that'd be actually very impressive. 32 touchdown passes. That's pretty impressive. If he could actually do that, I'd be very happy with that. 100%. 14 picks only. Not bad at all. 60% completion, pretty good. David Montgomery breaks 1,000-yard rushing. I could see that for sure. Justin Fields has less than 1,000-yard rushing. I honestly see Justin Fields having close to another 1,000-yard rushing season, in my honest opinion. Khalil Herbert 317, pretty realistic, I would say. Chase Claypool leads the league. I mean, sorry, not the league. Leads the team in receiving. Okay. I don't see that personally at all, unless he actually comes out and has a better year, looks a little bit more like he did on the Steelers at a time. I could see that a little bit. 11 receptions, receiving touchdowns for Claypool. Lazard had a pretty average year. Cole Kmet, pretty average year. Darnell Mooney with a little bit of a down year. I don't know if he got hurt at some point or not. I hope not. But that would a little bit make that would make a little bit of sense, to be honest. But Chase Claypool, our leading receiver, I honestly could see it because he's our deep threat on the team. Going to tackles, Nicholas Morrow leads the team in tackles, not even close. Good stuff from him. Let's see how Brian Burns did. Brian Burns, 7 sacks. I would like to see more production out of him, but I guess we can't be mad. Was the best player on the team, by far as our pass rushing, etc., stuff like that. Interceptions. Only 2 interceptions from Marcus Peters and Kyler Gordon. That's a little bit underwhelming, I'd have to say. But it looks like a good amount of people got a lot of interceptions. Jack Sanborn getting a pick, 42 tackles. I'd like to see a little bit more from Jack Sanborn, especially being how good he is in real life. So, getting a little bit more upgrades from him is realistically what we need for this defense to start excelling. But it looks like that's going to go ahead and do it. Let's see who was the MVP. Joe Burrow wins MVP. Very believable. 100%. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Joe Mixon. Let's go ahead and look at the NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Cooper Kupp. Very realistic. 3-13 from the Rams is crazy. But Offensive Player of the Year, especially with those stats I saw from Cooper Kupp, that makes sense to me. Let's go ahead and look at Depoy. Myles Garrett is the front runner in the AFC. I can see that for sure. In the NFC, let's go ahead and look at the Depoy. Aaron Donald makes sense. So based off of what I've seen in the stats, Aaron Donald most likely won Depoy, but Joe Burrow MVP. So pretty good start to our first season, I would have to say. Getting up to that 7-win mark is what we set out to go get. So I'm not too upset with that. If you guys want to see another season and continue this rebuild, please comment down below, like this video, show me you guys enjoyed this, and I will be glad to continue this moving forward. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
S1, I was the best one. You thinking way back, you should have kept them. You always question all of my methods. I try to hold you down. I just want you to got a hit. I swear that you don't check your phone. I be pulling in the coupe on my own.